Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. You've got a story to share, a message to inspire, and a passion ready to ignite. But where do you start? The world is waiting for your voice. With From Idea to Implementation, Start Your Own Podcast, you'll get the roadmap to turn your vision into reality. This isn't just a course, it's your launching pad. Step by step, we'll break down the process from defining your purpose to recording your first episode so you can finally share your voice with confidence. Stop overthinking it and start doing it. Your voice has the power to connect and lead. Are you ready to use it? Join the waitlist today. Your podcast journey starts now. The world is waiting. You can find the link to sign up for the waitlist in the show notes. We'll see you soon. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Maria Malec. She is a speaker, an author, a podcast host, a conscious educator, a good vibes pollinator, and you also call yourself a lifestyle and wellness architect. Welcome. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. I love having conversations with you.
Excellent. I am so excited to jump in and share all about the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do, a little bit about your story and your journey. So with that being said, let's jump right in. I have to say, I absolutely love that term architect as opposed to the typical or common term of coach. And I have to ask, why have you decided to not use the term or word coach? And how did you come up with the term architect to describe yourself and the work you do? And was the reasoning behind using architect intentional as opposed to using coach?
First of all, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. And yes, everything I do is intentional to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my abilities, I should say. And it took me many years, literally, to come up with the term architect, because I think there's so many coaches out there. And when I think of coaches, I think of someone being on the field with a whistle, blowing, doing drills. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that again. And I believe it was just a download or a revelation of myself finally that said, you know what? You don't really coach people because I'm not there when you're in the midst of doing things. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know how much work or how little work you're putting into whatever it is that we're working on. And I chose architect because I'm helping someone rebuild their frame, the framework of where they are and where they want to be. And I have a 4-method proven system that I've been living by that I give everybody, which is really the framework of how you're going to conduct your life after that or create your life after that.
Beautiful. I love it. I just love that you use a different term as opposed to coach. And the term architect is amazing. I love it. So what inspired you to become a lifestyle and wellness architect? And how did your journey begin? Was there a pivotal moment in your life that was the catalyst for you to decide to get into that particular field of working?
Basically, I just fell into it because I was having children one after the other. I had literally 10 pregnancies in 7 years. I had 5 live births.
Wow.
And I was raising, a little army, so to speak. And I was pregnant. And I was learning about different things about health and wellness as new mothers do, better ways of doing things, healthy ways of doing things. And then a tragedy happened in our family with one of my relatives whose child was autistic after certain medical procedures, so to speak. And I was thinking, wow, that's really interesting. And I literally went down the rabbit hole. and everything that I can learn and consume and everything that I learned, I applied. Basically, the past 29 years, I've been trial and error with different health and wellness things. And I dove into a lot of different modalities, chiropractic, the health food store, different styles of eating. And with all that is really how I came to this moment. And they say metal sharpens metal. Mm-hmm. Iron sharpens iron. And I feel like I went into the iron of all different healing modalities. And another term I like to call myself is a holistic connector, because I've done and tried so many different things. I mean, I went through a juicing phase where I turned all my kids orange because I heard that carrot juice was good for, your body. And every day we had carrot juice. And some people were saying, your kids have a little bit of an orange hue. and I have a part of my heritage is Czechoslovakia. And I said, oh, that's just their heritage. And then when I looked at them, I'm like, my kids are turning orange.
Holy shit.
So I stopped that. And it was trial and error, vegan, raw, 80% raw, 10%, 20% cooked. I mean, you name it. And all different kind of energy and healing and muscle testing and all the things. And through that, I learned what works and what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. It's not a one size fits all journey.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable sharing all these things with people because depending on their temperament or how they like to do things, they're going to do them differently. And that's why I don't have one thing that I tell everybody, except for the framework.
Right.
The framework is the same. And then how you decorate your house, let's say, is different than everybody else. How you conduct your life, habits, behaviors, thoughts, that's going to be up to you.
Yeah.
But you have the foundation, the framework from which to
build on. Yeah. And so how have these experiences helped shape the Maria you are today, do you think, both personally and professionally?
I mean, I walk the talk. I don't just gather information and knowledge and do nothing with it. I try and I test everything. Some are home runs, some are not. And again, based on my temperament and how I like to conduct my life, I fit all these things into my flow.
Right. Beautiful. And so what would you say then has been the biggest or most valuable takeaway through these experiences?
Is really to experience life and to try everything and not to base everything on what happened in the past. I believe there are no failures.
Yeah, I agree.
That everything is either an opportunity to grow and learn or to go backwards or just stay where you are.
Mm-hmm. The only failure is when you give up. True.
Or it's the self-defeating thoughts that might lead you to that. And it also has taken a long time for me to overcome my own self-defeating thoughts. And I know how to get out of that quickly now because I've been doing it for so long. Self-reliance, self-regulation, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think that if I'm not balanced, my life is not working, but I don't believe there is a balance because everything is ebb and flow. We're always healing and adjusting to our environment, and our environment is never the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So what drives, motivates, and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do, Maria?
My Creator. I believe we are meant to do better and be better every day, to want to evolve and want to grow. There's so much potential inside of us. And I think of the potential of an oak tree. started as a seed that was buried, that grew roots before it even sprouted. And that's how I feel that I am, I'm still like a little baby tree, but I have so much more growing, so much more learning, so much more seeing. And as my shirt says, I'm a wonder seeker. And I'm always looking for the goodness and the wonder in the thing, in the moment, in the person, whatever it is I'm doing.
I love that. And so what is your core philosophy then when it comes to wellness and lifestyle architecture, and how do you integrate it into your work?
I think a bottom line is do the best that you can with what you have in the moment, because there's no perfect situation. And especially if you're trying to eat a certain way and you're trying to avoid certain things putting in and on your body, but you're in a situation, you might be on vacation, you might be on an airplane, and whatever you have in the moment, whatever the best is in that moment, utilize it. And I'm okay with, well, I'm sticking to this certain regimen, and if they don't have it on the plane, well, then I'm going to take a hit or take a sacrifice or surrender the moment, fast in that moment on whatever it is. But I don't stress over it. And I think that's the most important thing is that, people talk a lot about being a slave to their list or a slave to their job or to their lifestyle. And I'm free of all that because I give myself permission. I give myself grace to bend in the moment, like bamboo. It's strong, but it bends.
It's flexible. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
We have to be flexible because not everything is going to be, we're not always going to be in the perfect situation that allows us to continue with the choices that we made. Sometimes we have to adapt and shift and change. We're human beings. We are constantly growing, expanding, shifting, changing. That's just part of the process.
We're not wandering generalities. And I love that term because someone called me that once. They're like, you're a wandering generality. And that kind of hit me like, really? I'm a wandering. So that's when I became very intentional. If you are on a specific diet regimen and you just go to the airport and say, well, I'll just find something, that's being a wandering generality. You leave the house prepared.
Yeah.
Pack yourself a little baggie of stuff so that you don't have to look and see what's out there. And if it fits into your lifestyle, you make your lifestyle fit into the atmosphere that you enter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
That. Yep. Wandering generality. I love that term.
Yeah.
What strategies do you use to empower your clients to take control of their wellness and lifestyle choices?
Well, again, it's based on the 4 pillars of my framework that I share with people on how to build from. And I heard a talk many, many years ago at a conference that they didn't call it pillars of wellness or anything like that, but 4 things that really can keep you in check to make sure that you can always check if things are working your way. And can I share them with you?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. The first one is the most important one, which is the mindset. And if you're not in the right mindset for building this new framework, that's the foundation that we put down is the identifying what needs to be changed, what needs to be improved, what needs to be added or removed. And the mindset part probably takes the longest out of all of it and the most uncomfortable and probably not the most desirable. It's like, well, let's do the easy things first.
I also think we have to continue to work on that always. It's not a one and done, like you set your mindset on this thing and that's it. I think we have to continually work on it.
Exactly. So the mindset, renewing of the mind, if you will. And people have to believe possible. They have to be willing to adjust, and they have to be willing to take action. and not just willing to take action, but take action.
Yes.
And if you don't have one of those things, that's like having a two-legged stool. It's gonna fall over.
Yeah, for sure.
And my father always taught me growing up, we can, say it along with him, is system, order, structure, SS. And with system, you create order, and with order, you have structure.
Yeah,
so this is the base of all the framework. And then we continue to build, and I like to address the habitat in which you live in or which you work in, and using all elements of color, sound, water, smells, all the things to ignite your senses, to feel alive in your space. Clear out the clutter. And because this is where we spend the most time, unless you're a workaholic. And since people are working at home, this is their environment. So the environment has to be elevating and nurturing. It can't be dark and depressing and cluttered and too much technology and too many distractions, because most of us are overstimulated anyway.
For sure.
And then, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Then the third thing is the habitat of your body. What you're putting in and on your body. I'll help people clear out their pantries and underneath the counter in the kitchen and the laundry room, because all those things are affecting the chemistry of your body, and they're affecting your mind, which is then controlling your body. And basically, if you can't get out of bed in the morning, you can't live your life. You can't do your job. You can't do the thing you were put on this earth to do. And included in that is an important aspect of dental health, believe it or not, because all our teeth correspond to every part of our body. It's for brain health and heart health. And I know a lot of people who keep the tooth thing, the dental thing, as a last resort. Well, I don't have insurance, or there's plenty of things that we can do at home to keep us out of the dentist office for a crisis. And then the last thing is movement. Doesn't mean that you have to go to the gym. It just means that you have to move. And whether it's walking or getting up frequently when you're working and sitting. I do a workout every morning on a vibration plate for 20 minutes. And I lift weights on there, and I cut my workout time by 40 minutes, I would say. And then I do a lot of moving. And here's the other thing. Functional fitness is just as good as going to the gym. I don't like gyms. I don't like gym memberships. I don't like the pressure, like, oh, if I don't go, I'm wasting all this money. It's another form of prison that I want to release myself from. And if you need that, do it. Go. But I make everything intentional. If I'm going up the stairs, I'll take 2 steps at a time, or I'll carry something. All different things that you might do in the gym. I do it through cleaning my house, squatting, lifting, reaching, even folding laundry. You could turn it into some sort of functional movement.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 things. And when you have those, I wouldn't say mastered, but when you have them set up in a way that makes your life easier, then that's half the battle.
For sure. Movement is key. We have it, like you said, you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to go running or jogging. If you can get out for a half-hour walk. I mean, I go every morning for an hour walk. Or
even 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 3, 4,
whatever you have to
times
make time to move your body, period.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And the other thing is that if you're working, you're on the computer, or you're just staying in one spot at one time, it's kind of like you're pooling all your energy, and It's actually making you stagnant. Think of a
Yeah.
rock in a river and the water going around it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta move. You gotta get out of there. It clears your head.
Yep,
There's
absolutely. And
just
getting out in nature and getting sunshine is always a good thing.
100%. And that's the first thing I do in the morning.
Yeah,
I
me
go
too.
out and I look and I watch the sunrise. I get the sun in my eyes because it helps with our circadian rhythm, which then helps with better sleep.
For sure. Now, you are helping your clients essentially undergo a transformation. In your experience, what are some of the most common obstacles or challenges people face when embarking on a transformational path in the people you work with, and how do you help them overcome these?
I think the biggest obstacle is familiarity, that a lot of people want what's familiar. Well, this is what I do, and this is how I do it. I'm always going to do it. I like variety. I like change. I think people need to give themselves more permission to ebb and flow. If you give me a spreadsheet or like, this is what I got to do every single day for the rest of my life,
Snooze fest.
I don't even know what to tell you.
You've lost me.
Throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And some people's temperament is that, and they can't function without it. But I always think that there's still a little wiggle room in there for those tight agendas and schedules. And it's the willingness to take action. Yeah, I know I should. People should themselves to death.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone gets excited at the beginning. I'm doing this. But here's the thing. Every time we make a new decision to do something, or not even a new decision, but just, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to work out. I'm going to, whatever it is, you are met with disruption, unequivocally met with disruption. And that's your mind saying, whoa, 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 we're safe with familiarity. This is the way we do it, remember? And then, let's say you have a goal of 10 push-ups and you start and you try and do 10 push-ups and you're just like, oh, I can't do 10 push-ups. Well, that's right. When you first started walking, you probably fell. I help people create realistic expectations, and that's how they have more success with what their goal is. So great, 10 push-ups, start with one. Every day do one until one is not a struggle. Then increase it. Eventually you will get to 10. You can't take a staircase all at once. You can only take it
one step at a time. Always.
And I think we have such great expectations of us, or we're comparing ourselves to somebody else. Well, look at so-and-so. They're the same age, same weight. They could do it.
They're not the same person, though.
Exactly. And it's the consistency. It's pushing through those moments of doubt. I remember when I was quitting cigarettes many years ago, I heard them say, whoever they are, if you can get through 7 minutes of that wanting of the cigarette, you can. So every time, want a cigarette, a lot of that's habit. Get in the car, get on the phone, have a cigarette. You can make it through that 7 minutes of desire, you will overcome wanting to have a cigarette. So every time you can't say, well, I'm going to quit and I'll be quit in 2 weeks. You got to take it moment by moment.
For sure.
Temptation by temptation. Because you have the good devil and the angel, and it was like, come on, it's only one cigarette. It's not going to hurt you. You know what I mean? So you have to take everything that you set out to do gently and slowly.
Absolutely.
It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
That's right. Give yourself grace and space around it. You're doing something new, so it takes time to adapt and get used to it. What is your definition or idea of transformation? What does that word mean to you personally?
Well, actually, I believe transformation is a decision. I don't think transformation is the journey. I think it's a decision that I want to move from this place to this place.
Okay.
Usually never lateral. I always want to move from here to here. And the gap in between is an expansion, an evolution of myself. And that's what I believe the transformation is. My decision that I'm going to do this, I'm going to get from this framework to this framework. And it's what I do in between, which is going to get me there. And it's usually, who am I going to become to be able to handle this? If I'm here, let's say in a low-level job, but I want a managerial position, there's a lot of things that I need to learn and do and adjust and change, and in my behavior, in my mind. At this low-level job, I can't handle being a manager. I can't handle managing people or tasks. So I have to become the person who can handle that.
Yeah.
And that's where the evolution and the expansion is. And that's why where I am now, I had to come from a very, at one point, very dark place and become the person who can confidently guide others in this evolution of themselves.
Beautiful. And so we're hear a lot these days about self-care. So in the work you do with your clients around lifestyle, wellness, helping them with those transformations, what are a couple of your personal daily wellness practices, and how do they support your overall well-being?
Well, here's the thing. You might not do what I do. And that's part of the whole discussion of the framework and what we're going to do within that. I believe everything that I do that is building, nurturing, and supporting my life is a step towards self-care. I don't believe self-care should necessarily be a day at the spa or taking a day off or going on vacation. That's taking a break from your normal activities. I believe everything that we do is an effort towards self-care. If you're thinking about what you're putting in and on your body, in your mind, what's coming out of your mouth. And it's different for everybody. I can't, I start my morning with prayer and going out and looking at the sun and doing my exercise, but someone may want to do something else.
Yep, for sure.
In their morning. So what they really need to do is establish things that, if it's a radical difference from what they're used to, is doing one thing at a time, adding one thing or taking one thing away. You can't stop smoking and lose weight all at the same time.
Right.
It's just not going to happen, because now you're like, I can't smoke, I can't eat, I have to do all this
Overwhelm
stuff.
sets in. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just ask too much of ourselves, and stress that we get from that is stress, in my opinion, or my definition of stress, is that my current situation is not meeting my expectations. And that's where I don't want to say try. I help people make realistic goals, prioritize them. Like, what's the most important thing that needs to get done? If they have a dire diagnosis, we need to address what's going to help that, help nurture it, help reverse it, whatever the case may be. But if you don't have anything critical, urgent, emergent, then we take the things that maybe are the hardest or the easiest. Like, let's start with the easiest first to get a person into the flow of this new change in their life.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So what is one of the biggest lessons you've learned from your clients over the years that has profoundly impacted your own wellness journey?
It's not an easy one to answer. I feel that I gain something from everybody, that a lot of times another person is a mirror to myself. and maybe something that they're struggling with, either I struggled with, or it triggers something in me that says it hasn't been resolved yet. And I don't always use the word healed. I think a person's search for healing or to fix their brokenness, I really believe that it's a lack of alignment with our Creator, which starts in the spirit, which moves to the mind and the heart. And when you don't have those things in alignment, that's when things get shifty. And I'm always looking, not necessarily to work with people who are going to bring that into me, but I'm working to help bring that into them. And a lot of what they're going through, I can shed light on if there's something similar, or I can learn for myself. I can't really give a definitive thing. I just know that I am a life student, a lifelong student, and that I'm learning from everything that I'm experiencing.
And that's what it's about. As long as we can take the lessons in all the situations that we encounter in life and pull that lesson out or pull the silver lining out of that situation, whatever it is, from people that we encounter, we need those in order to move forward. And so if we extract the knowledge from those situations and the lessons and all of those things, that enables us to move forward with more knowledge, more wisdom in our arsenal in order to keep going and keep moving forward. It's so important.
And the other important thing, I think, is to learn how to be more responsive than reactive.
Yes.
I used to be very reactive. And I will say, to get back to your other question, one thing that I think it's important for everybody to do every day is to sit quietly.
Yes.
Even though, well, I can't sit quietly and my brain is always going. But if you don't have music on, you don't have other distractions, television or whatever, it's okay if your mind is dumping. You're thinking. I do my best to look at those thoughts as leaves going down a river. Like, oh, look at that leaf. Oh, look at that thought. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The only way that we can hear from the inner knower is if we quiet ourselves.
Yes, sit in stillness, sit in reflection. Absolutely.
And it might be 3 minutes. Again, you got to do it like, oh, I can't sit for 10, 20 minutes. Okay, sit for 1 minute.
Start small.
It's really in the effort. It's really in what you put into it. We can't just put things on autopilot. There is no autopilot.
No, absolutely.
When I do that, I'm like a car on ice, like going all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I get back on traction, which is my connection to my Creator, that's when things start going smoothly again.
Yeah. What lights you up or inspires you the most about the work that you do?
Everything. I know that to me, every day is a treasure hunt. To me, it's like, okay, I have this agenda, but something can change. And then I think of, okay, if something changes, gets canceled, moved or whatever, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder what's going to happen now. I wonder we really are not in control of our lives. Everything, who we are and what we do are based on our decisions and our choices. And like I said, we can't react to the things that are coming at us, like someone sitting at the end of a tennis court shooting balls at us. We can't be this all the time. I just have an open mind and literally a wonder of every day. And I get excited, and in the morning, I wake up and say, thank you for this day, because not everybody wakes up. I know there's a statistic out there that there's like 155,000 people who don't wake up every day. So I open my eyes and I'm like, wow, okay, I woke up. Yeah. And, I have my agenda, but then things happen and I weave and bob with them. I don't fight them.
Yeah. What is one tip or takeaway that you can provide to listeners which will support and help them in order to start implementing and stepping into transforming their lives?
It's never too late. That's probably it. It's never too late to start again. I am turning 60 in September. I'm an empty nest. I was a full-time mom. I was actually raised to be a housewife. My dad is 97, so he was born in 1927. You can imagine his mindset.
Yes, for sure.
My mom passed 4 years ago, but I think she was going to be 86. They were married in 1956, and that is what my mom was. And I was raised to be a housewife. And I've reinvented myself so many times, and now I'm entering another stage in my life where I'm reinventing myself.
Kudos to you for that, for having the strength and the courage to do that. That's very admirable.
But it's exciting. It's like I kind of have my youth again with and wisdom.
Yeah.
Of what to do and what not to do. And I'm not even scared. I'm excited. Last year I went to Italy for 3 months alone. It was part of my new becoming and evolution because I had never done that before. So I'm in a strange country, don't know the language, don't know the train system, how to get around, how am I going to communicate? Thank God for Google Translate. And I had conversations with people with Google Translate.
Beautiful.
And it really set me up for a resilience to do things on my own and to figure it out and to problem solve and create the best situation that I could in the moment.
That's inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
As mentioned off the top, you are an author. I would love for you to speak a little bit about your book, the title, subject matter, and what that experience was like for you sharing and writing your story and putting it out into the world.
Okay. Well, both of my books are more tools than they are my story.
Okay.
My story hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
And the one is called Dare to Declare, Greeting the Day with Intention. And there's probably about 11 pages of reading. And then there's 63 inspirational graphics to start your day. I found that when I just got up in the morning and got into my day, that again, a wandering generality. So that book is to be used any way you want, like open up the book, see what photograph is there, or go day by day. And again, this book was also very intentional.
Right.
I have 60 photos with a greeting the day intention.
Okay.
And it takes 63 days to create a new habit. Everyone thinks it's 21. About 5 or 6 years ago, I went to a brain conference with a bunch of neuroscientists. Caroline Leaf was the main one. She was hosting the event. And I learned that 21 days gets it into short-term memory. It's actually 63 consecutive unbroken days that creates this new habit. It also creates a new neural pathway. So if you're looking to overcome some bad habits and behaviors, it takes 63 days of consistent use. So that's why this 63. I also incorporate in everything I do aromatherapy because smell is the thing that imprints a situation on your brain. So let's say you met me and I smelled like peppermint.
Right.
You go to a restaurant, on the way out, you eat a peppermint, and all of a sudden you think of me. That's because the smell imprinted me on your brain. And that could be for any given situation. That's why if you smell something, it reminds you, oh, this reminds me of my grandma. And when we used to go walking or whatever it is.
Yeah.
when you incorporate smell with an intention and an action, it reinforces that even more. So aromatherapy is used extensively in helping people creating these new frameworks and these new ways of life. Then the other book I just published about a week ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm learning how to do all these things.
Yeah.
And it's when you have the tools to do it, it makes everything so much easier. Mm-hmm. And this book is called Self-Mastery, A Road to Discovering Your True Self. Self-Mastery Made Easy, A Road to Discovering Your True Self. And it's a 6x9 book with 118 prompts of getting to know yourself, your core values, how you look at things, how you address things, how you feel, all these different things. A lot of people think that when you have a journal, that it's just got to be about the things that you're doing in your day. Sure, you can talk about your feelings, but you're just dumping in a journal. What this does, and it's designed to help you get to know yourself. How many people do you hear talk about, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's because they don't know themselves. There's so much out there for us to compare ourselves to. And it's like, well, I want to be like her. I want to do like that. And
comparatitis.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
I was just going to say it. You took the word out of my mouth. And so this is really a tool, and I'm actually going to make a series of them. I'm going to do one on joy and wonder and who knows what else. And again, this book was very intentional. The cover of the book, and I wish I had it here. I should have brought it here, is a picture I took when I was in Amalfi. I was on a road looking back at the city. And then every picture in the book is a very transparent picture, so you could see and write better, is a picture of a road, of all the different roads that I photographed in Italy, in vineyards, in towns, side roads, alleyways. So there's a subliminal thing about the road, your road to discovery of your true self.
I love it. That's beautiful. Also mentioned off the top, you are a podcast host, and I've had the pleasure and honor of being a guest on your podcast fairly recently. Can you share with the audience what the name of your podcast is? It's obviously interview style? Do you do solo episodes? And what was the inspiration for you starting a podcast?
Thank you for asking. The podcast is called Taking Healthy Back with Maria. And my intention with the podcast is to introduce people to all different kinds of modalities and therapies to help build, nurture, and support your life. And it was important that you were a part of that. I love what you do.
Thank you.
Love how you honor people and edify people, which is how I feel you're doing here. And it's to give people another framework that healing, health, wellness, lifestyle is not one size fits all. And to explore, to have an open mind and an open heart to try something different. There's been a lot of people that I have endeavored to help overcome certain dire ailments, and they were unwilling to open up to new things because it was scary. It was unknown. It had to be like a proven thing, or it had to be mainstream, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I know, and this is what people do. Well, there's all these other things that we can be doing that are not harmful to our body, and actually utilizing nature in various different forms, light, sound, art, all these different things to heal your body. And that's basically it, to help people break free from an overstressed, over-medicated, over-processed life and overconsumption. I mean, That's what we're all living in. And we're
Yeah.
all talking about and we're all complaining, but we're all playing.
Keep doing it. Yeah, we
Swimming
play
in the
along
same
with it.
pool.
Yep.
Yeah, and the
Sure.
pool's getting too tight now. There's too many people in
Yeah.
the pool. And things that are called alternative are really the original blueprint of design.
Yeah.
And I love to look at the Native American because they really know how to harness nature and honor. When you honor nature and you honor creation and you think of people call their bodies a temple. Well, what lives in a temple? Something very sacred.
Mm-hmm.
You are a part. You are woven in the fabric of that sacredness.
Yeah.
And when you realize that, you will say to yourself, oh, should I really be putting this in my mouth? Or should I really be reading or watching this? Life is not about entertaining ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being involved in it.
Yeah. Maria, what do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I feel my superpower is hospitality, is assessing what a person needs and giving it to them before they ask for it, and creating an atmosphere of warmth and comfort and safety. And when people come to my home, I just cater to them.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down. Sure, you can wash a dish, but basically, something very simple.
Yeah.
If they're sitting at the table and I see they don't have a napkin, I'll go and get the napkin and bring it to them before they even ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really being sensitive and in touch with another person who has the same thing in them that gives them life, that gives me life.
Yeah. That's all.
I really believe that we're here to love God and serve others.
Absolutely.
And when I'm serving others, I'm loving God.
Being in and of service, it's a huge part of why we're all here. So speaking of success, what does that word mean to you? How do you define the word success?
I guess it's the opposite of what I talked about. Stress is where my reality is meeting my expectations.
Okay.
And there's lots of successes in that when you think about it. It's not just, I want to make $1 million and you make $1 million and now you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
It probably wasn't an easy road to get there.
For sure.
So I really believe it's your current situation meeting your expectations.
Okay. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment means using the tools that we have to move the needle forward, whatever that means to a person. So empowerment is giving person the tools to have the tool set, to exercise the skill set.
Okay. Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions will just be 1, 2, 3, 4-word answer type thing, okay?
Okay.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Okay, this isn't rapid fire for me.
It has to be rapid fire.
Curious.
Love it. If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Love yourself.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be?
Making people feel good.
What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
My childlike outlook on life.
What is one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
To create, have community, and contribute.
If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what song would that be?
I actually wrote this down because I couldn't think of anything off the hand. I think, can I say 3? Because there are 3 potential. One is Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys.
Yep.
Probably the one I'd walk out to because it's got a good beat is I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross.
Okay.
Respect by Aretha Franklin. But I think I'm Coming Out.
Okay. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Okay.
I threw in a bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time. If other people could use 3 words to describe you, what would you want those 3 words to be?
Expressive, kind, 3 words, expressive, caring.
Okay. If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
I couldn't think of one for that one.
All right. That's okay. What is an unexpected blessing or occurrence in your life that you're grateful for?
I think all my trials that have contributed to me being who I am today make me stronger so that anything that comes at me, I can handle.
Beautiful. What is your why, Maria?
My why is to get to heaven and hear, well done, good and faithful servant.
What would you say is one of your biggest failures or teachable moments, and what did you learn from it?
Gosh, I mean, I mentioned earlier, I don't call anything a failure. I think communicating better with people, because you can't fix what you don't know is broken. You don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. So communicating better to have better relationships, especially with my family.
Yeah. If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
This was a hard one.
I like to ask those tough questions.
I want to say there's probably more men. Like, I would love to sit down with Einstein. Mm-hmm. He's one of my favorite people. Jordan Peterson, he's another one. I know you said woman, but I can't.
Just one woman.
I guess right now I would say Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins? And why Mel Robbins?
Because she's like real. You can relate to her. She makes life sound reasonable, why we feel certain things the way we do. And it's okay to feel that way. I think a lot of us are shamed for feeling the way we feel. And, when someone says, oh, I'm sorry you feel like that. Well, don't be sorry. It's just the way I feel. Mm-hmm. So she's got that humanness that is relatable, I think, to everybody.
Okay. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Just accept everything about who you are. I went through a lot of, I'm not good enough, not enough. And I know a lot of people go through that, and it sounds like everybody goes through that. But I was adopted, and I found out at a very early age, which is great. I was adopted into a fantastic family, no abuse, nothing like that. It was just a very supportive environment. But again, I grew up in a time where I heard my parents at various times say, kids should be seen, not heard. So I spent a lot of time alone. I had imaginary friends. I was great to them, but I always felt like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't express myself. I wasn't allowed to. So that was it. A lot of self-acceptance, and you are enough.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Lastly, Maria, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
This was one of the ones that I'm like, really? Well, I think I said it earlier, and do the best that you can with what you have in any moment to love and honor yourself. Give yourself permission to grow and expand, to make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, incorporate all the things that you learn, make it a part of the fabric of your being, yet don't be a slave to the things of this world, and really get connected with the Creator and get in alignment there, because you cannot go wrong.
Beautiful. Maria, thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today, for sharing a little bit about your story, your journey and the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you
Thank
do.
you.
It was an
Thank
absolute
you.
honor and pleasure to have you. I appreciate you, and I am so grateful to have you as a member of the Empowerography community.
Me too. Thank you so much. You're a joy, and I love what you're doing, and you are another light in the world. And
thank you. I received that. That means a lot.
You got to shine a big light out there. Thanks
you
so much for having me.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Maria Malec. She is a speaker, an author, a podcast host, a conscious educator, a good vibes pollinator, and a lifestyle and wellness architect. Thank you so much, Maria. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.